He is Houston Dynamo midfielder Brad Davis, and he joins Pitch Pass right now. Brad, how are you?
I am doing well.
I'm not going to lie to you, Brad. It's a little bit difficult preparing to have a conversation with you.
Why? Bobby Boswell told me you're from Philly, but you're living in D.C. Philly's that bad, huh?
Now, see, I like that you're throwing the barbs out right away. See, that's good. But here's
he told me I had to watch out, though. You were witty and you were going to come back, so well, I might as well get it out of the way early.
Here's the problem. I go to start looking for some interesting tidbits about Brad Davis on the internet. I type in Brad Davis. You're like the sixth Brad Davis that comes up.
Apparently I'm pretty good at playing music, but if you came to me and handed me a guitar or something, you'd notice that I'm not.
Brad, it's not just music, it's Christian country music. That's what you're good at.
Well, man of many talents, I guess.
And I didn't see first of all, the Brad Davis, the actor, died over 20 years ago. And the only thing I know him for is Chariots of Fire, but apparently he was in a couple other big things as well. And he still gets top billing over you.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one. I'm sure there's Brad Davises that were born in the past couple of years that get top billing.
So I'm just thinking to myself, how is one of the best players in MLS fly so far under the radar as far as the internet? Because I have a feeling just like a Brad Davis who works at a pizza place in Albuquerque, New Mexico might get ranked higher than you in a Google search. I don't understand how you do it.
I don't know, man. I don't worry about that stuff, to be totally honest. I know I'm pretty lucky I get to play soccer for a living, do pretty well at it, so surrounded by good people, so I can't really complain if my name's not on the internet.
No, I feel you. I'm in my head, I think to myself, oh, you must be in some sort of witness protection program, and even though you're on TV every week, you keep such a low profile that they're like, hey, put him in the witness protection program, make him a professional soccer player. That's awesome.
I just have to keep my mind on soccer. If I got too much other stuff going on, and my wife tries to keep me in the witness protection plan as much as possible.
Well, let's talk about some of the stuff that's happening on the field. You guys are in line to continue your home unbeaten streak against Chicago Fire. Apparently, obviously, they have a lot of payback they want to give to you. How much do you guys talk about that streak in the locker room? Is it a thing where it was like a LeBron, where they were talking about their streak all the time and it wasn't important? Or is it the other way where you guys don't even really talk about it? It's just a go out and win the next game situation?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, to be totally honest. With the guys, like, we honestly have not mentioned it. I mean, even Dom at the end of the last game was like, I know we haven't talked a lot about it, but you guys tied the record. Congratulations. It's something to be really proud of. And honestly, that was that. This has more been a media-driven event. You know, to be totally honest, I wouldn't even have known, like, Salt Lake had 34 games unbeaten and had the record. I knew they had the record, but I didn't know exactly how many games it was. It just wasn't on our mind. We're just playing to play. And now that we've gotten there, it's been kind of more of a media-driven thing, but I mean, it is something to be proud of. It means that we're protecting our house, so to speak, and we're doing well at home, and that's what you want to do. If you can win your games at home throughout the year, you have a very good chance of making the playoffs. So we take a lot of pride in playing in front of our fans. We got some great fans, and we just want to keep it going.
How awesome has it been moving into BBVA Compass? And I asked that question just as a DC United guy who looks at all these new stadiums and just goes, oh, I can't wait for that day.
You're a DC United guy?
I am.
You're not a Union guy?
No, because the Union didn't exist when I lived in Philly. I left Philly in 2001, so there was no such thing as a Philadelphia Union.
All right.
You were going to give me some crap about a Union, huh?
Oh yeah, if you're from Philly, I mean that's like me being from St. Louis and claiming the Astros over the Cardinals. That's never going to happen.
No, that's true. But say 5 years from now, St. Louis gets an MLS team, and let's just say you were an impartial fan of soccer. Would you then all of a sudden adopt St. Louis as your team, or would you stay with the team that you have been living in and have kind of gotten behind?
Man, I would have to. I would definitely be a St. Louis supporter. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, because you have you have no history with the team because it wasn't there when you left St. Louis.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, I would definitely. It would be hard, that's for sure. I don't know how I'd be. I hope they do get one though. It'd be kind of cool.
That would be very cool. And going to Union, they're another team with a brand new stadium. So it goes back to my question of how awesome is it being at BBVA Compass and having a place of your own?
It's unbelievable, to be totally honest. I went. This is my 12th year in the league, so I went 10 years without having a place like a stadium to call my own. So that when it opened last year, it was absolutely awesome. I mean the emotions and everything running in that game, and sorry to say, DC happened to be our home opener and scored in that game. So sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do, Brad.
No, man, but it's seriously, it's a great stadium. It's awesome. Everybody that's come and seen it and playing it, besides the weather, it can be pretty brutal here sometimes, but it's a great stadium.
Well, you bring up the weather. That was my next question about the stadium and about Houston in general. Everybody says how much of an advantage it is for you guys to play, have teams come to Houston and play, especially in the middle of the summer. It has no effect on you guys at all, though?
No, it definitely does. I mean, to be totally honest, I don't think people think about the fact that we're in it every single day.
Yeah.
Like, I would almost, as a player, want to come. It's like going to altitude or something like that. It crushes us because we're not used to it. But as a player, the weather, altitude is a little bit different, I guess, because I don't mind going and playing in the altitude. But we're losing 6-7 pounds every single day and have to be in the heat every single day, then play on the weekend. And as a player, I almost want to think that, you know what, let's just go wear this for 90 minutes. It's going to suck.
Yeah.
It's going to be terrible, but let's just grind this out for 90 minutes and get the hell out.
Well,
that's pretty much how I would think about, coming here. So people don't think about we train it every single day. We can only practice an hour and 15 minutes before. I mean, guys, it's really difficult.
And do you have to have practice at like 6:30 a.m. before the?
That doesn't. To be totally honest, it doesn't matter. It's so steamy sometimes that honestly, it really doesn't matter.
Well, so let me ask you this, because it's an interesting point. What do you guys do to prepare differently, I guess, than other teams because of where you live and where you play? Do you have to do a certain amount of water intake every day?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is teams don't come down here and hydrate well enough. Hydrate and eat properly, because you're burning so many more calories down here in the heat and getting dehydrated so much quicker. And having like a proper plan, even all throughout the game. As far as hydration goes like that, and just a proper eating method. It took me 4 years probably to figure out a proper way that I felt good during games and could get through games and really do it the correct way.
I wanted to ask you about the Horst injury. It's kind of leg injuries are in the news because of what happened in the tournament, the basketball tournament, and the players on the court's reaction. You were in a similar situation this past weekend. As a player, how do you refocus after seeing something like that? And what was your initial reaction as you're on the field?
I didn't see it exactly when it happened. I just saw like a collision of bodies kind of go down, and then the ball went out of bounds or whatever, and I kind of turned and followed that, and I looked back, and I just see Giles standing over waving like their trainer, and that's never a good thing when you have a teammate that's standing there and you're automatically waving the trainer over. You kind of know it can't be really good, and then seeing the replay of it, it's never a good sign. You always wish the guy the best, but we sign up for this. It's part of the job. It happens. Everybody kind of goes through it. If you don't have an injury at some point during your soccer career, then you're doing something wrong. So it's never a good thing, but you just kind of have to shove it off and move along. So and you think about it after the game.
And what's the hardest part? The delay, the seeing the guy in pain, or the oh boy, there but for the grace of God go I kind of situation?
No, it's more for the person in pain, because you kind of know, depending on what it is, kind of what it feels like, what he's going through. You hope that it's not going to be a bad injury where you're out, because you're out there battling, and yeah, everybody's playing hard and stuff, but you never want to see somebody get injured to where they can't play, you know. So it's at that moment, it's kind of one of those things like, man, please, you know, let him be all right.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
I wanted to talk to you about Azteca, and first the roller coaster ride that you were on leading up to that, going from not being on the roster to being on the roster but not dressing, to all of a sudden now I'm one of the 3 subs being called off the bench in the biggest qualifier, at least from American fans, that you can have. Describe those gamut of emotions as you went from not getting the call to getting the call to being on the field at Azteca.
Yeah, that whole week was kind of like a whirlwind week, because I was in like the final roster, and then I was called and I was told that I wasn't in the final roster, and then I got a call during the Dallas. We were playing Dallas in the afternoon. Got a call saying, you know, did you bring your stuff? Are you ready to go?
Oh man.
So after the game, I get a voicemail I had to check, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And then they actually called and were like, all right, no, we're good. We don't need you.
Oh,
then the next day.
Wait. So you said they gave you the courtesy call of, hey, just want to let you know you're not on the roster. Then you go out and play, and during the match they call you and leave a voicemail.
The team coordinator or whatever. Was asking if I brought my stuff to Dallas, and I was ready to go. I was like, I didn't bring my stuff, but I am ready to go.
I can go, yeah.
I'll buy clothes if I have to. So then he was like, all right, well, when he makes a decision or whatever, we'll give you a call back if you're going to be coming. Never got a call, so obviously didn't make the final roster there. And then I got a call the following day saying, all right, well, you're coming in. And I was like, all right. So I headed to.
Well, wait, Brad. At any point, did you flash back to your single days and feel like this was a girl that you liked that kept kind of stringing you along? And at one point, you were just like, you know what? I'm just going to ignore the call. I'm going to ignore the call.
Oh, no chance was I ignoring that call. I'd be an idiot to ignore that call. So. No, but it was crazy. But, you know, I knew what I was going there. I was going there as a role for a player that was struggling injury-wise a little bit, and that's what it was. They were up front with me, and they wanted to bring me in just in case they couldn't go. So that's why I went. But I knew going in there that obviously you're still on the radar, and talked with Jurgen. He had some great things to say, and he's like, just keep it going. You've been doing real well, and, you know, Mexico's a whole new story. We're really happy we brought you in. And I knew it. I told my wife, I was like, since January, I haven't got a chance to play yet, and I know I have a feeling I'm going to go to Mexico and get thrown into the lion's den immediately.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you first about Costa Rica. Where did you watch that match?
I watched it upstairs inside in like a heated room, and my wife and my kid and my parents watched it outside in the snow.
Brad, come on!
I didn't know they were out there. My wife called me. I go down in the stands at halftime and grab them. They got like 4 inches of snow on their head, and I brought them upstairs.
Wait, how old is your kid?
Well, my daughter didn't go there, but my son was there, and he's 3.5.
See, wait, a 3.5-year-old.
You can probably hear him yelling right now.
A 3.5-year-old kid you've got out in a blizzard while you're up toasty and warm in some press box watching the match.
Yeah, man, he was tucked in tightly under mom's jacket, under my wife's jacket and coat and blankets. He was playing a game on her iPhone, so he was totally good.
All right, so you watched.
I didn't know the rules about bringing people up, my family up to the press box, and I wasn't about to like try and start breaking rules. So.
Well, no, Brad. Far be it from you to actually go down there and stand with them. If you're the only one allowed up there, you're the only one allowed up there.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to stand in the stands with fans and all that going on. So, but at halftime, I was like, all right, I got to get him.
Come on up here. So in 30 years, when you tell the story, will you be on the field, frozen solid, watching stoically as your team was trying to grind out a victory?
Will I be on the field?
Yeah, when you tell the story.
Oh, when I tell the story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be the one that scores.
All right, so all that happens. You guys immediately get on a plane and head off to Mexico. At any point, does Klinsmann say to you, I mean, I know he's telling everybody, be ready, be ready, be ready, but you've got to think, I didn't dress for this match, so he probably has given me some lip service. At any point, did he talk to you and say that, yeah, there's a likelihood that you're going to play in this match?
He never said that you're going to play, but when I talked to him before the Costa Rica game, he was just like, keep going, Mexico's a whole different animal, and I was we were just talking back and forth, and he was like, you're doing a good job. I know you're going to get the opportunity, but he never said this is the game, you're going to get the opportunity. So I still looked at it as I was dressing, I was going, I was prepared to play if I needed to play. I just had that gut feeling that going to Azteca against Mexico in a World Cup qualifier, for some reason I just had a feeling that he was going to throw me in there, and he did, which is good. It means he's got faith in me.
So I know you're 31 years old. You're a veteran, but
you don't have to say that on the air.
Oh, right? Sorry. I'm going to edit that right out there. You're a veteran, but have you ever been in a situation, as far as nerves are concerned, as you were on the touchline waiting to check in as the team is kind of desperately clinging to a point at Azteca?
To be totally honest, I really wasn't super nervous. The nerves come because you want to you want to perform well and you want to do well and all that stuff. But my mentality was you haven't been a World Cup qualifier, but you played a lot of games. You've had a lot of experiences. Just go out and do what you're good at. Whatever the team needs you to do, just go out and do your best. And it kind of sounds cliche and dumb, but it gets you through it. You're just trying to do your best. I think it's more excitement. I mean, that's the biggest stage right there than nerves. Getting that opportunity. So I mean, it was highlight of my career. Being able to represent your country in a World Cup qualifier. There's no reason to be nervous about it. There's a reason to be excited about it. And that's kind of how I look at it.
So before we look ahead, I want to ask you, and I hope that you will think about it and give me your gut reaction to this. And the question is, because a lot of people have written, even all through last year, well, maybe Brad Davis's time has passed as far as being in the mix for the U.S. national team. At any point, even just for a few minutes, did you think to yourself, yeah, I might not be able to get back in?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
After what was it, 2000? I think it was 2011. I was up for MLS Cup MVP, and I didn't get that, but I was injured like in the semifinal against Kansas City, and I think that I was going to be called into the January camp after that, and that was kind of my shot. New coach, new opportunities, and didn't get called in all of last year or whatever, and I told people asking me all the time, when do you think you're going to get a call? Do you think you're going to get a call? I was like, you know what? I'm not worried about it anymore. I got to focus on the Dynamo. I can't worry about that stuff, and if it comes, it comes. But I'm not planning on it. And I honestly, didn't think it was coming. Did not think it was going to happen, and went home for Christmas this past off season. Was there for about 2 days and got an email saying, guess what? In like a week, you're coming to California. So, for January camp. So, I was very surprised, but, also very excited.
So now we can look ahead, and you talked about excitement rather than nerves when playing against Mexico and Azteca. Is it the same feeling thinking about the upcoming qualifiers where it's a matter of, okay, I hope I get called in, I hope I play, to now it's excitement to go, I know I have a place on this team. The coaches acknowledge that by putting me in that situation, and as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, there's a real chance for 2014 if everything goes the way that we hope it does.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's part of the situation is getting called in. That tends to, it's not the easy part, but it really is the easy part of doing good things, getting called in, getting that opportunity. The hardest part about that is going there and proving day in and day out on a consistent basis that you belong there, and you need to keep your spot on that team. Because there's plenty of guys in line that can come in and do a very good job. So that's really the hardest part. But I look for it. I know my name's on that radar. But the thing I have to concentrate on is the club team and taking care of club business and being consistent day in and day out. And if I get that opportunity again, go there and make the most of it each time. There's no guarantees with that roster. You know, if you look back at it, I don't think we've had the same starting 11 in 24, 25 games or something. So there's an opportunity there for a lot of guys still. I'm
going to ask you one question for the analysis part, and that is Boniek Garcia, Will Bruin. Did they practice today?
They did some stuff on the side. They're just being real cautious with those guys. It's early on in the season. You know, those guys are very important to us, and it's not something you want to continue to re-aggravate, you know, injuries early on in the year like that. So they just want to make sure they're going to be 100%, and that's not a question I can answer honestly right now. But
I'm sure, especially from your perspective, those two guys the last few years have really lightened the load from you to be the offense, not even just the catalyst, but the offense. It was always, if Brad Davis is on, then they have a chance. If he's off, then it's going to be dicey. With those two guys in the lineup, it's not always everything is on you.
No, it's not. We have we've had quite a few different guys step up, and without a doubt, Oscar and Will have been a couple of those guys. This year, Giles Barnes has come in and started and played really well for us. So it's great. I think we have a very good team this year. You know, for me, I don't care who comes to the team as long as they're going to help. And those guys have come to this team and done a great job and helped us out tremendously. So I'm extremely excited that they're with us. And, you know, if people want to say if it lightens my load or whatever, it doesn't change my mentality. I still go out and try and do what I have to do to help my team win. You
mentioned Bobby Boswell. I asked him, hey, you got something? You got something for me for Brad? Because, you know, like we said, you've been under the radar. Your Wikipedia page, Brad, by the way, when they sum up your professional career.
This could be scary. I haven't even read it.
It's not scary. It's literally 6 lines, and one of it was in 2005, Davis did this, and then the next paragraph is following the 2011 season. And I'm like, wait a second, he played 6 years in between, and there's no mention of anything that happened.
It's a witness protection program.
Exactly. I almost want to say that you called up Klinsmann and outed yourself as a sleeper cell CIA operative and said, if you don't call me in, then I'm going to blow the whistle and have you deported.
I don't know, man. For some reason, I've been one of those guys that is kind of flown under the radar. But you know what? It doesn't bother me. I'm a country kid. I'm a quiet guy. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. Here's what I have from Boswell. He said that you always eat unhealthy food and have some sort of spin as to how it actually is healthy for you. Are you sure Bobby's not quoting himself? So that's not you. You're not one of those guys who eats a slice of pizza and goes, "What? It's got tomato in it." Oh, pizza! Come on. That's it's like pasta. It's Italian. That's good. That's good to eat before the game. It's good carbs. Good way to fuel. It's Italian. It's Italian, so it's got to be like pasta. So you are the guy with the healthy spin on the unhealthy food. See? Oh, like cookies, man. Those are like. Yes. Those are protein pucks. So yeah, Tally Hall and I kind of mess around like that. I mean. Definitely, I used to eat way worse than I do now. Let me put it that way. I don't eat bad at all. I just, but I do like to joke around about something sometimes. Brad, thank you so much for walking us through the story of the last couple of weeks as far as your national team stuff. I thought that was fantastic, and thank you for checking in, and we appreciate you being on the show. I appreciate you guys having me. Pitch Pass. This is your voice. This is my red, white, and blue. This is my anthem to you. For more show information, go to pitchpass.com.